Hello, sixth graders. It's Mr. Gardell. It's great to be back with you. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, we're going to take everything that we've learned over the last couple of weeks about the Dakota Ojibwe and apply it to a writing assessment, specifically a constructed response. The hope is at this point in time, the Venn diagram that you see on your screen, yours is completed. Hopefully, you have several differences between the Dakota and the Ojibwe, as well as similarities. If you do not, I would strongly encourage you to go back into three resources. One, our online textbook. That's a great source for you to gather more information about the similarities and differences of the Dakota and the Ojibwe, and also use the articles from the Minnesota Historical Society on both the Dakota and the Ojibwe to help you to come up with additional similarities and differences. These two groups of people really are valuable and important to us in this state because they were the first people to occupy the lands of present day Minnesota. So, again, keep in mind that you will need your Venn diagram to complete this constructed response. I would encourage you, if you didn't complete the Venn diagram on a separate sheet of paper and completed it using Kami, to have it open in a tab just like I do, and that way you can go back and forth. All right, so what we're going to focus on is the information that's within our Monday, March 8th folder. So I'm going to click on that. And really, there's a lot of information here about our constructed response. First of all, the writing process is the first thing that I want you to view and read. And really, what it does is it kind of breaks down the writing process into 5 steps: the pre-writing or brainstorming, drafting, revising, editing, and ultimately the publishing, which is where you then will have your final copy and submit it to your online academy teacher. And as you can see in bold at the top, ultimately this constructed response is only going to be one paragraph, but it will include 8 to 12 complete and detailed sentences. Let's go back into our folder. And this is really what I want you to focus on. This is a template on the constructed response. It really provides you a guide on where to go. And really what this is it's basically taking the constructed response and allowing you to create a rough draft constructed response step by step by step. And so really what you're going to do is follow this criteria. And the first thing that I want you to do is to understand what we are doing for the constructed response. So it says in the directions, we have learned about the early Dakota and early Ojibwe. Follow the steps below to write a response to the prompt. Remember to use all the steps when writing a direct quote or a paraphrase, as shown in the example to the right. And then the prompt. Okay, compare and contrast the early Dakota to the early Ojibwe. Okay, so you're not only just comparing both of these groups of people to each other, but you're also contrasting. In other words, what are the similarities and differences? And so what I would encourage you to do is start with step 1, which is your topic sentence. This is my topic sentence. The early Dakota and early Ojibwe have many similarities and differences to each other. That really gets the reader to better understand what this constructed response is all about. And from there, you just keep following through the steps. Okay, step 2, provide text evidence with commentary. And again, it shows you examples of using text evidence from a direct quotation standpoint, okay, and also text evidence in paraphrasing. Okay, make sure that if you use a direct quote, whether it be from the online textbook or any of those articles from the Minnesota Historical Society, you inform, okay, the reader, when you provide that text evidence, what page number you found it on. So for example, in my example, this was found in chapter 4 on page 3. That's why I put 4.03. And if you see in the paraphrase for textual evidence, it was just found on page 1 in the Dakota People and the Ojibwe People article. And so really make sure that you do put the page number or page numbers that you used, whether it be the direct quotation or the paraphrase. Step 3, make sure you write a concluding sentence. That basically wraps it up. And really, I think the biggest thing in this slide is to focus on the paragraph format. So we have one topic sentence, okay? So that's only one of your sentences. We have one concluding sentence. And in between, that's really the body part of our paragraph. Those sentences is where you're going to get very detailed to compare the Dakota to the Ojibwe and explain those similarities and differences between these two groups of people. And remember, you must include at least 2 pieces of textual evidence within this part of your paragraph. That's where that step 2 comes into play. So you need to have 2 pieces of textual evidence within your constructed response. But again, focus a lot on that body part of your paragraph, because that's really going to help the reader, your HOA teacher, to know if you understand the differences and similarities between the Dakota and the Ojibwe. And then down below you can see a checklist. I'll let you read that. I'm going to go back again into our folder, into our March 8th folder. Here's a quick guide to help you if you need any quick information. It just kind of gives you a quick kind of step by step criteria on how to follow this, and gives you additional information that I didn't provide you in my explanation of the 3 steps to complete your constructed response. But ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to click on this, and if I just simply click preview, this is what you're going to see: start new attempt. Once you start this attempt and submit it, this is where your final copy is going to go. Remember, we are going to go through the writing process. We don't just jump to the final copy. Our sloppy copy is not our final copy. We will go through that writing process, and I'll summarize that again before the end of this video. But right here is indent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and start your topic sentence. And once you start your topic sentence, then just keep writing or typing your constructed response. And remember, your response must include 8 to 12 complete and detailed sentences. There is a rubric that is attached to help you to better understand how your HOA teacher will grade this. And this is due, your final typed copy and submitted in Schoology is due by 3:30 on Tuesday, March 9th. And again, once I'm finished, I just simply click submit. I can't do that because I'm the teacher of this course, but you will be able to click submit once you're completed with typing your final copy of this constructed response. So to wrap things up, again, make certain that you follow the process of writing this constructed response. Again, start at the very top of your Monday, March 8th folder, go through the writing process, brainstorm ideas. Okay, that's the pre-writing step. That should be done coming in. That's your Venn diagram. The drafting, again, that's your sloppy copy. And then the revising and editing, I would encourage you to have a trusting adult to help you with that, with those 2 steps in the writing process, to kind of put those final touches on your constructed response. And then ultimately, again, you will type in your final copy of your constructed response and submit it to your HOA teacher. Thanks for your time, everyone. Take care. And as always, if you have questions, please reach out to me or your HOA teacher. Bye now.